Hey everybody, we're live here at our open house we're running together. This is my partner Ace with
Hello
Coldwell
everyone.
Bank. I'm David Orfici with Coldwell Banker Active Realty, and we figured we'd do a live show, kind of see how it goes. Talk about real estate, maybe take you on a tour of this house, and kind of go from there. If you have any questions, throw them up in the chat, and we'll see if we could answer them for you. And otherwise, just hang out with us. We're going to talk real estate, talk the business, and hope to interact with you.
Awesome.
So, yep.
Yeah. So, some questions that I might even have from people that are just starting off in the business, so I should ask you maybe.
Well, yeah. So we're both pretty new to this business. I've been doing it since the end of July, and how long?
I
have you been
just
doing
got my license like last month at the end of August, so fairly new. I have a lot of experience in the business world, working for myself, owning my own businesses and things like that. So, and sales as well. So, I'm bringing that to the table and now just learning this new game. So it's definitely a process. But
Yeah, the people skills. That's what it is. That ability to interact with people and be able to read them, help them out. If real estate was ever something you considered, look at yourself. Say, hey, do I have good people skills? Am I somebody that likes to interact? Am I charming? I'm happy, generally, smiling, this and that, or that's usually good. Are you good with reading people, trying to anticipate their needs? Because a lot of what you get, especially as a listing agent, is trying to anticipate your seller's needs and making sure you reach them. And then, because that leads to good reviews and bringing on the next client of yours.
And they say, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Customer service obviously is a great thing. So knowing the person in front of you and dealing with the person in a way where maybe they haven't been treated before. Sometimes people come into things with bad experiences.
Yep.
But one thing that I learned for sure is you take care of their problem at hand. I call it jumping on grenades. So when you have a problem customer, you jump on it, handle it. If it's nothing lucrative for you in the beginning, guess what? They'll remember you, they'll call you later, or they'll send you people. So in this game, it's a lot about referrals.
Long
and
game.
Who you know. So
Yeah,
putting in the work now.
Always think of the long game. This is not a short-term, get-rich-quick industry. You can make unlimited money.
Absolutely.
You can make as much money as you want just by putting the work in, but it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a business. You are an independent contractor, and it comes with its own set of problems. Not just bad problems. I mean, you're your own boss. You set your own schedule. But if you don't do the work and you don't put the effort in, and you don't do that one thing extra that your competition's not doing,
The results.
you're not going to achieve maximum potential.
Right.
And if that's your goal, is only to sell a couple of houses a year and just make some little side cash, that's great. You can do that. It still takes the work. But if you're looking to be one of the top in the industry in your area, gotta put the work in. Gotta do whatever it takes. Things like what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Live videos at our open house, working with partners,
Yeah.
and seeing what works for you.
And honestly, this is the first time we're ever working together, and knowing that we both have the same common goal, we both want to make that $1 million eventually.
That'd be great, right?
I think if you're around the same like-minded people, those things are very possible and feasible. So, if you're trying to get rich quick, this may not be something that you're interested in. But if you want longevity, if you want wealth for your kids, and so on, this is a great business to get into. It's just word of mouth and knowing the right people, and your neighbor could be selling their home, or they may not even be interested in selling a home. They just they don't know that they can sell their home and get top dollar. You talk to them, tell them you're a real estate agent, and at that point, it's sky's the limit. So
you bring up your neighbors. That's a good point. My first listing in my neighborhood was one of my neighbors. I found him on the Facebook group, and I just said, hey, let me just show you what I can do for you. And he was thinking of selling on his own, and I went through all the reasons why you can absolutely try to sell on your own, but there are definite reasons why it's harder.
Right. So if you're a FSBO, for sale by owner, and you want to try to get the maximum money you can, I understand. Again, my brother in a situation where he's selling his home, and it's for sale by owner, and I'm over here trying to convince him, hey, how long has it been on the market? How long have you been trying to sell it? And how many leads have you generated out of it? With getting
and those leads, are they quality leads?
Yes.
How are you
yes.
making sure the people who are sending you messages
That
day
got
in and
good
day
credit,
out,
yeah,
are they even pre-qualified? Can they even put an offer in? Can they actually afford the home?
Exactly. And not to mention the access that we have to all these other agents around the United States. Your for sale by owner is not going to get those clients that are planning to move to Florida or coming from a different state. We have access to that as realtors. You can you just simply go on your database, you post the listing, and then from there you'll have other agents reaching out to you. Hey, I got a client that might be moving out there looking for a home, and your potential is just far more likely to sell the home and close the deal. So with a realtor, of course. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So what made you get into this? Actually, I'm gonna throw some music back on here.
But yeah, we've been doing this whole setup for quite a little bit here. So we got, hats off to David. He's got his whole camera system, lighting. If you guys seen behind the scenes right now, you would think we're on a movie set. But this is what it takes. It takes this type of effort. It's not as simple as just getting an open house listing and coming there and just waiting for clients. You may not even get people that walk into your open house, but the whole point and the whole idea is to make sure that you're doing the little things that matter, that make...
Sorry, coming from the camera.
No, you're good. That makes it a little bit more, inviting for people to come in and want to see the place. And then, you're not only selling a home, but you're kind of selling yourself too. So,
well, that's the biggest thing. You are.
Right.
This is not... you could throw all the commercials out there you want, but, but it's what you're selling. Yeah. You're selling yourself, you're selling your expertise, and that's the value you have to let your clients and customers know. Right. Is that why you? What makes you different? Where's the value to you? Because we all know, you ask anybody, they know a real estate agent. Maybe it's their cousin, their uncle, maybe they're not successful. Maybe they are. But what are they doing? What's the... sorry.
Do we have somebody?
Nope. Sorry, we're just waiting for people to come in. You never know when they're going to pop by, especially on a live video. But yeah, you're trying to set yourself out, trying to show why you are worth the money and that there's value in there. It's what we look for as consumers. Is you could buy product A or product B, but if product B is just slightly more, but there's a significant more value in it,
you're probably
going to go with that.
You're going to end up with that one.
Yeah.
And you get what you pay for, right?
Yep,
so
absolutely.
At the end of the day, when you think about it, the value that your realtor brings to the table is going to determine the outcome of your results that you're looking for. If you're looking for top dollar for your house, you just tell your realtor, hey, this is what I want to take home. Especially for you for sale by owner clients, if you have a certain number in mind, it's as simple as letting the realtor know, hey, this is what I want to walk away with. This is what I want to net after everything. And then we will work around that. We will try our best to get you, the type of price you're looking for, or, that way you can maximize.
Well, that comes down to what we talk about is client management. And as an agent, it is your job to talk to your clients and give them the complete picture, give them all the information they can to understand the decisions that they have to make. Because maybe they're overpricing their home and they're wondering why they can't sell it. Maybe they have the perfect lot and the perfect location, and they're like, I could sell this by myself because it's a hot seller's market. Everybody's getting 4 or 5 offers in a weekend, but their house has been on the market for 6 months. Why? Right. Maybe it's overpriced. Maybe there's something there that they don't know, but because you're an industry expert, you can show them. And you could say, hey, I know you want to get this amount for your house, but if you want to move this house quickly, maybe you have to
chop it down a little bit.
Come down a little, yeah.
There's
be competitive.
Right, and trust me, there's homes that we've seen, in our own database where we feel like are overpriced, and a lot of times, when you price something, you're trying to make the client happy, but at the same time, you got to be realistic. And sometimes, you may not get the exact amount that you want, but when you sell your home, you want to sell it to the right person. You want to make sure you're getting obviously as much money as you can, but at the same time, you may not get even close to it if you're doing it by yourself. If you have somebody helping you, you're more than likely going to get very close.
Well, you get the marketing. Time on market just costs you money. The more, if you have to move quickly, and you sit on the market for 6 months while your neighbor sold in a weekend.
Right. And we just went outside like a mile radius and just put open house signs all around each corner. And
yeah, we're still sweating a little bit from it, you know?
Yeah, we're still a little sweaty. We both sweat a lot.
Yeah, so we actually do work for our money.
Yeah, you know, you got to put in the legwork, and that's what it, you know, that's what it takes. And you know, not only that, you have a lot of competition. You know, there's competition around us. We just saw like 3 other open houses in the area, and you know, we're trying to do something for a client, but you know, because they're putting their faith in us, we're going to put in all the hard work. We're going to make sure that, you know, we do whatever we can to get the deal done. So,
well, that's a good point too, and getting the deal done, and that's obviously the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things along the way in a contract as we're going through that can happen.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to sell on your own, you know, you can end up being the one hurt in that process, you know, financially and or just time wise,
Right.
because either you're not getting qualified buyers or you're, you know, the
Yeah.
contract was
Right.
written wrong.
Right.
There are so many things in
different
there.
things, and hurdles, obstacles,
And that's
are
our
gonna
job.
be there, right?
Yeah, just to get you across that finish line.
Stress is like nothing. We'll
Yeah.
deal with it.
That
you know?
exactly. I always
So,
tell my
yeah.
clients, my job is to carry your stress and handle those problems.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, when you're a for sale by owner customer and you don't have a realtor, dealing with that stress can be hard, and that's probably a lot of times why the house is just sitting in the market for 6 months. So they just don't want to deal with writing up the contract, and then they end up usually just getting, you know, a realtor, and after 3 or 4 months they realize, wow, I just listed it with a realtor and the house sold in less than a month.
Yeah, what is it? 92% of
Yeah,
for sale
right
by
around
owners end up going with
They end
a
up going-
real estate agent after what, 3 to 6 months,
Yeah,
something like that.
because they realize, like, you got to remember, you still got a monthly mortgage to pay. You still got to pay your property taxes.
You
Your
got
homeowners,
kids,
you got
you on
kids.
school. Your life is busy.
Exactly, and if you want to, you know, if you want to rent your house or sell your home, I mean,
How you gonna market it? How you got
Exactly.
time to market it if you're that busy?
Facebook,
Yeah.
flyers, business cards, and you're probably not going to do any of that, you know. And if you
How
do,
about professional photos?
Yeah,
Who's got time to?
There you go. That's
Yeah.
another one. You know, photos, just setting up beforehand, making sure your clients have water in the open houses, and all these other things that come along. You know, are part of the process that, you know, we enjoy doing. We enjoy doing those things, and we know that doing those things is what it's going to take. So.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, I guess we could talk a little bit about like
Being a new agent?
Yeah,
I was
being
kind of thinking the
new
same thing.
agents and
Kind of
stuff like that.
transition into
Yeah.
maybe you're thinking about becoming an agent.
Yeah.
You know, what pushed you into wanting to be an agent?
You know, I've always been in sales, so sales has kind of been my thing. You know, since I was, you know, my first job was a sales job. I used to sell cell phones, and I stayed in the industry for a long time. I ended up opening my own store, and I realized real quick, I did it for about 4 years, that man, this is very stressful. Owning your own business is not the funnest thing, especially if it's something.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's tough. When a business like that too requires a lot of working capital, legwork. Not to mention, you'll never have a day off. You know what I mean? And I wanted to still be my own boss and continue to, you know, work for myself in a way without having all those stresses and things to worry about, or paying rent, you know, for my business that I may not be able to afford 1 month, paying an employee and things like that. So essentially what got me into it was, you know, I realized that I'm good at sales and I'm a great people person, and what more, you know, what else can I sell besides cars that'll, you know, yield me a lot of money? And I thought, you know, real estate is the biggest opportunities are in real estate right now.
Absolutely.
And owning, you know, eventually your own properties and things like that you could go ahead and rent out and sell and you know, show people to buy potentially. It's something that, you know, you take a lot of pride in, and you know, having that type of, it's like back in the day when the kings used to rule the world. They had land, and you know, owning your own land was like powerful, you know. So I wanted to kind of get into the business in order for me to eventually own my own properties and be able to sell my own properties if needed. But just the earnings and you know, just knowing that, you know, the potential money that I can make is great in this business. Not to mention, you know, the people you meet, and you know, being your own boss. That's the biggest thing, without having all those other stressful, you know, things to deal with. But
No, I agree. And you touched on a couple of things there. Just the idea of one, you went from being your own boss in one industry to another.
Yeah.
And with this industry, it's a little different. It says you're not managing employees right off the bat. You're managing yourself. But you're not worrying about the stress of overhead of like a retail space, the insurance that goes with it. You're a true independent contractor, and you make it with it what you will.
Pay your own taxes.
That's it. There are different ways to make, and that's the other thing you touched on too. Is the different avenues you can make in to make money in real estate. It's not just buying and selling homes, buying and selling any type of real property. There's avenues of investment, working with investors. There's social media is another aspect. Coaching, mentoring. There's or building your own investment portfolio.
Property appraising too. You can be a property appraiser.
If you want to get your license in property appraising, you can be a licensed appraiser. There's a number of areas in which this industry and having your license as an agent can teach you and open your eyes to other avenues that you can work at the same time.
The biggest thing for me too is when I own my own business. Like I can tell you, I've literally probably sold 3 or 4 locations to other business owners without getting anything in return because I wasn't an agent at the time, but just pointing to the right property for the guy to go ahead and look for his new business. Because I was connected with these people who owned multiple stores and locations that were always looking for the next one. And because I was in the industry and I was so close to other people, it was easy for me to say, hey, there's this space, commercial space for you if you're interested. Talk to this realtor right here and connect them, and then next thing you know, he's opening a new business,
and you didn't get a piece of that pie.
I didn't get a piece of that,
You have that good intuition and that, and then, but why not be able to capitalize on those transactions? Absolutely.
Exactly. So,
absolutely. Hey, if you guys out there are watching, if you have any questions, throw them up in the chats. We'll see if we can answer them for you.
Some questions, definitely.
What have you found that I know you're starting out here that that have helped you make contacts with potential clients and start building your branding?
I guess the first thing that I do is I go through my own book of business. I reach out to the people that are closest to me, starting with family, friends, obviously, co-workers and other acquaintances. But for me, that's the first thing I did.
That initial, that close sphere of influence.
Exactly.
And you'll hear that a lot if you end up in the industry, that your biggest resource and your first primary one is your sphere of influence. The people you've known your entire life. People who know that can trust you, and they'll be the ones to either use you or refer you out to somebody that they trust. And actually, in fact, my neighbor, he referred me to one of his long-term friends. And as an agent, to me, that's one of the biggest compliments you can give to me is trusting me with somebody that's close to you. Because that says that you had a great experience and that you know that your friend is going to have the exact same
and he's going to be taken care of.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing. Is like being in that sphere is very important, because stepping outside of it, you're dealing with people in the beginning that you may not know, and it might be a little rough in the beginning, but when you deal with the people inside and they refer you to somebody that you don't know, it's a much easier process, because they just come into it with this trust, knowing that they're going to be taken care of, that they're not going to, try to, rip me off or make extra money on the side or what have you. But it's definitely the first thing I did was reach out to my own book of business, and then obviously social media, and then within the company that you're working with too, like David and I, we just partnered up, and he, without hesitation, came out here, and drove 30, 45 minutes, to help me out and, help each other out, because at the end of the day, we're in this together. And, it's all about building your brand and building your clients and coworkers to know that they can trust you too. Because if one day David is out of town, or if I'm out of town and I have a listing that I might want to sell or close, I could bring him in on the deal, and we both benefit from it. So it's something something important to do. Is just networking. Networking is huge. Now I find myself telling everybody that I meet or
that's
run into.
Key.
Hey, I do real estate. If you need anything, or if you're interested,
don't be shy.
You can't be shy. You can't. You gotta.
And you see somebody that your gut's telling you this person might need my service, just hand him a business card. Say, hey, maybe you don't need me now, or just talk to them, strike up a conversation. If that doesn't work, they don't want to talk. Maybe just simple, hey, here's my card. If you ever need anything, or what I like to do if I'm patronizing a business and I've had a great experience with them, whatever, I always say thank you. I appreciate the work you've done for me, whether it's as simple as just making me a cup of coffee or working on my car. Hand them your card. hey, if you ever need anything, reach out to me, even if it's just a recommendation for a restaurant. You know, and that actually, so we're in Central Florida here, and you know, everybody knows the House of Mouse. You know, you have major theme parks here, great places to meet people, and a lot of those people who are visiting are thinking of moving down here. And so you can tell them about the area, and that's what I like to do. I was like, hey, if you think of a place you need to eat, you know, give me a call. You know, even if it's, you know, you want a suggestion on a good Italian restaurant or a good pizza place, you know, call me. Yeah. And I don't give it to you. I don't always have to talk about real estate.
It doesn't have to be about real estate right away.
You build that rapport, you build that trust, and you let people know that you're a person that you want to do business with.
And it all comes down to, like you said, building rapport. Those are the basic steps that you need to be taking in order to become successful. And this is for any sales job. What do they say? The ABCs, always be closing, right? Yep. That applies to literally any sales job that you're in, whether it's real estate, phone sales, car sales, it doesn't matter. It's all about, you know, letting that person in front of you know that, hey, if you need something in the future, I can do this for you, you know. It sets you up for the future, definitely.
Yeah, the caveat on that too, that always be closing. You know, I understand the concept of it, but I always like to talk about the nuance in there, and that's with real estate. You always want to be trying to close the deal, but make sure it's what your client wants. You know, if this is your listing and you're able to, you know, bring the buyer and the seller, but the buyer doesn't really want this house, why are you going to push it on them? Yeah, you'll make the extra money, but is it really worth it? Is it beneficial for you in the long run? Yes. You know, close on what your client wants.
Quality. You know, it's quality, and
don't close on the thing that's going to make you the most money.
Right, and it's, what do they say? You know, you throw stuff at a wall to see if it sticks. You know what I mean? Like that. You don't want to have like a sale that's not so much benefiting the client or more benefiting you. You can automatically tell from the beginning, like, okay, what am I getting out of this? Am I getting something out of this that's going to benefit me now and make me happy now? What about later? Is this going to be, you know, something where I get backlash for, you know, overpricing a house or what have you? There's just so many things that come along with it. You don't want to be, you know,
you want to be ethical.
You want to be ethical at all times, you know, and don't just try to sell something to a customer just because it benefits you. You know, make sure it benefits them. They have to understand that what they're investing in now is for their future as well. So, and you know, you can get bad investments and you can make bad investments. It's not that hard to do that if you're not paying attention and you know, asking those questions and things like that, and being prepared before you start talking to customers about, you know, deals is very important. You know,
well, that goes back to
what you're selling.
Well, that goes back to the idea of what qualities an agent should have, and that's the ability to be able to listen and understand. So you want to be able to anticipate and understand your client's needs. You know, if they're an elderly couple, why are you going to be looking in areas that have, you know, maybe they want to be
college
by the beach.
Students,
You know, like maybe top schools are not always their priority.
Right.
Maybe it's a golf course, but the school zone in that area is not the great, but it doesn't matter to them. You know, so you want to understand what your client needs, and that's your job, is to match them with their needs and to fill as many of them as possible within reason.
You got to qualify them, right?
Yeah.
You got to ask the right questions. And when you ask those questions, you know, take notes, mental notes, physical notes, whatever you got to do, because when it comes down to finding the location for them, they're expecting you to know these things. So if you have a elderly couple that's looking for a home, you know, you find something in a 55 plus, you know, community or what have you, they're probably going to lean more towards that because there isn't a bunch of college students that live there that are going to be partying all night and stuff. Some people want to move in somewhere.
I know, some of those 55 neighborhoods, they throw some parties.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Those Florida old people, they get down here.
They get down. They definitely get down. I'll tell you what, my in-laws, they lived in Cocoa, and they also lived in a 55 plus community, but you can tell it was such a like neighborhood vibe where, you know, their kids would be there too, and it wasn't like, you know, oh, you can't turn music on after 9 p.m. or what have you, but there's things that people that they'll request that they, you know, that they want, that's important to them, and that's where asking the right questions, you know, that's definitely going to be something that you need to get good at, I think.
And follow up. Make sure you're following up with your clients, whether the sale is closed or, you know, always follow up. You know, you've made a relationship with somebody, and on top of that, that was probably their biggest financial investment that they've ever had in their entire life.
Or or it could be their first investment, you know. So following up is very important, just because it shows that you care. You know, you can call them and ask them if they're having a great day or what, you know, whatever it is. Just make sure you let them know, like, hey, you're still there, you know. And there's a rule of thumb. I think it's like 2 or 3 days after your initial contact, where you want to just give them a heads up text or a call and say, hey, I'm just following up with you, seeing how things are, and let them know that you're working on it, or let them know that, you know, you're making some progress and you're trying to get this done for them, or, you know, if you're looking for a type of home for them, or a specific, you know, a home that they want, and you find something, let them know that you're looking, and that, you know, you're there. If they need you, you're there.
Yeah, it wasn't just about the sale.
Yeah.
You know, because that's where you get the stigma a lot, and that's, people are always like, oh, hey, they just want to do the sale. That's all. After the sale, I hadn't heard one word from them in the process. Once they were under contract.
That's the worst. Yeah, that's the worst. Especially after you close a deal and you made all this money, and then you don't even care to check on the client after that. That's bad business, you know.
Yeah. Maybe they're having an issue with a moving company, or they need a recommendation on.
Exactly.
Who knows? And you're just like, you know what? I got the answer for you, and I can still help you. That I'm still here for you, even after the transaction is concluded, because these are lifelong relationships that you're hoping that maybe they'll never use you again because they're in their forever home, whatever. But their aunt might, their brother might, maybe their mom's moving down from another state, and they want to be close. And now they're like, hey, my real estate agent was wonderful. He'd be great to help you, take your whatever it is that set you apart, that made them trust you.
Right.
They're going to put that onto the next person.
Exactly.
And that's the other thing too.
Yeah.
Treat every one of your clients as if that home is a $30 million home. I don't care if the home is 25,000, 50, whatever it is. It's a trailer on a piece of land, or it's one of the most beautiful homes we have here in Central Florida. It does not matter.
Right.
Each and every client should be treated at that level, with your marketing, your the way you conduct yourself, the way everything.
Following up, like all those things that you do, those important steps that we talked about, that leads up to referrals, and that's what your business is going to run off of, is referrals. You know, you're going to have people that you close deals with, and then if you didn't do all the things in the beginning, like follow up, making sure they're good, or finding their needs and helping them find their needs, and executing the game plan the way that they want, that leads to follow up. And then when you do it all the right way from the beginning, the person is going to 99% of the time, if anyone asks them about a house, they may not go through their phone and say, hey, call this person, but they might. But if somebody reaches out to them, you're going to be the first person they think of.
Yeah, that's what you want to be, that person that immediately pops in the mind right off the bat.
David, I could hook you up with
him. Realtor,
you know?
boom, that's the first thought they have. And that comes by having a lasting good impression.
Yeah.
And
first impressions always last, right? So that's key. So that's why from the beginning you got to do all those things.
That's it. Yeah, be and dress professionally.
Yes.
Act professionally. I was doing an open house a week ago, and I had an agent come in. The guy was in basketball shorts and t-shirt. I didn't know if he was looking at the house or if he was until he handed me his card. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
You know, it's an industry where you could dress however you really want to, but
what outcome are you looking for?
Well, that's the thing. Are you the idea of dressing for success and start at the beginning. You know,
feel good. You look good.
That pride in
good,
yourself,
right?
and that positivity reflects on you, and people pick up on it, and they make you, and they want to be around positive people because it gives them hope. It gives them it builds trust.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me, is being positive. It might sound cliche. It might seem like everyone said, but I can't tell you how powerful it is to being positive in any type of situation you're in. If you want the results, you should know that you're going to get those results. You should speak those results into existence, and you be positive about it.
Internalize and externalize.
Exactly.
Yep.
If you're not positive and confident in your work, and then you're like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to close this deal, or this situation is gonna cause this problem. You worry about the controllables, right? Don't worry about the things you can't control, because at the end of the day, those things are gonna happen, and whatever happens with that. But it's
gotta keep marching on.
How you keep marching on.
Yeah.
Right? How do you get up when you fall down? Like, how well, are you gonna, take care of this customer and be positive, even if they may not get approved or something. There's always the future. You can help a customer or client, build their credit up. We have things that we do in our company
people refer to.
Yeah, for credit counseling and stuff like that. You know, like if for example we can't pre-qualify you, we're gonna help you. You know, we're not done with you. Like we're gonna
point you in the right direction. We're gonna try to help you achieve that goal that you want.
You know, the thing about owning your own home is just, you know, it's a feeling of success. So knowing that, you know, you can't get that home right now, it could hurt. But also knowing that there's possibly a chance in 3 or 4 months, 6 months,
and then you're not alone.
And then you're not alone. Yeah, exactly. You have to know that there is a process. Things don't happen overnight, but we're here to help regardless. Whether you get approved or not, we can make something happen. You just got to follow the game plan.
Yeah, and with this industry, there's things that come, like you have to have thick skin.
Yeah.
You know, because you need to be able to take criticism. And you know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's constructive, sometimes it's just downright mean.
Yeah.
But you need that input.
Yeah.
Because you never learn any real lessons from success.
No.
You learn from failure.
Yes.
You know, that's where you're able to recognize your shortcomings and make yourself better and to offer more.
Yeah.
So that's why follow-up's important. Because maybe they're like, out of 10 things, 9 are great, but that 10th thing is something you can improve on. Now you know. You know, if you didn't know, you're going to keep doing that 10th thing wrong, and you know maybe that's the one thing that turns off a lot of people, and you don't realize it.
Right.
But now if you
somebody
have that,
pointing it out, like saying, "Hey, look, you can't do this. It's going to affect you in this way." Maybe no one's ever told you that before.
maybe you never thought about it. Maybe it's minor, but on some level it's not. You know, so those are things you need, and always ask. I can't tell how many times I ask people, like, let me know what I'm doing wrong. They're asking, why don't you want to know what you're doing right? I'll say, I want to know what I'm doing wrong, so I can fix those things. Because if I'm doing it right, then I don't have to hear about it. Then I already know.
You can keep doing the same thing.
I could focus on the other things that will create more success.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, when it comes down to it, you know, just positivity is a big thing, but like I said, we were just touching on it. If you don't happen to get approved for a home, you gotta have the whole game plan of living your life in the beginning, building your credit is part of the process. If you made mistakes along the way, it's not over. It's not the end.
Nope.
You know, so there's always a way. When you get to, we refer you to our credit counselor. The credit counselor gives you a game plan. And, you know, we have our mortgage lender that's aware of the game plan and what you're doing, you know, because the mortgage lender is going to refer you to the credit counselor because those are the people that deal with them. And then from there, when you do those steps, it's almost easy for them to say yes. You know, it's like they literally will see that, you know, you've made these improvements, your credit score has gone up, and, you know, you're trying, and you know, the mortgage lenders like to see that.
Yeah, this is I don't, if you're the buyer, the seller, or specifically agents, you got to remember this is not a short-term industry. This is a long-term. You always got to think long-term. If you're buying, you got to think long-term. Like, hey, when do I want to buy? When do I need to be in this? And then you have to work your way through those steps and say, what do I have to do now to get me to this point at this time? And if it's not feasible, so all right, well, where do I have to adjust my timeline to be able to do that? If you're a seller, you know, you have to manage your expectations. If you don't, you know, some homes are harder to sell than others. It's not impossible. Sometimes some homes just take longer.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to understand that. But if you want the maximum you could achieve from that transaction, that you have to understand this could be a longer process or a long game. And as agents especially, most agents don't, you know, make a sale within 9 months at least.
Sometimes a year, you know. I mean, that's pretty long too, but at the same time, it's like, what are you doing to get there?
Yeah.
You know, are you making those sacrifices? Are you going to the open houses? Are you networking enough? Because a new realtor or real estate agent it's a lot of work in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. We don't want to sugarcoat it or anything because you do have to put in the work. You may not close a deal, but that's why some of us even have to have jobs while we do this, you know. And it's all about like growing your business. You're growing your own business, and they say, you know, any business that you start off takes up to 5 years for the owners to start seeing some type of growth. Obviously, in real estate, it's a blessing to know that you don't need to take that long. But trust me when I tell you, you own your own business. In the beginning, for about 3 to 4 years, you're not seeing a lot of the money. You're reinvesting in your business, you know. But in this type of business, you don't really have overhead. You don't, you know, the things that you're investing in are
yourself.
Yeah. You know, and
your marketing,
you know, your social
tools of the
media
trade.
tools, and those things, you know, those things go a long way. And then eventually, within a time period of like 5 years, you look at your book of business and you're like, wow, like money now. I've got people where, I've got listings where I don't even have to really show up. I've got other agents, helping me out, closing these deals, which you won't mind giving them a piece of the pie, because guess what? You're still getting something. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of of this industry, is like, we could have a listing in Pensacola, Florida, and we may not even go there at any point, but because we know the person that's selling the house, confiding in us, you know that you can reach out to other agents over there and let them get some action, so there's so many ways to earn here. It's just it's the time and effort.
You just got to do the work. Do the work, manage your expectations, and understand that, like I said, it's not a get rich quick. No. You can get rich. You can make a lot of money in this industry. And a lot of, what is it, the wealthiest people, almost every single of the top wealthiest people in the world, all have their investments in real estate. Not necessarily that they're agents. Some might hold a license, some might not, but it's either investing in real estate, holding, buying, selling, Or
that's the biggest thing. It's like, if you don't have your license, you can still invest in real estate.
They need an agent. So you could be working for them, making the commissions on that, and then you learn the other aspect of real estate, and that's investing and building your own portfolio and building secondary income streams for wealth. And that passive income.
That's what it's about. And being able to not only own your own investments, but being able to kind of guide other people to making investments for themselves. It's a good feeling when you help others kind of reach their goals and help them out. And guess what? You get paid while doing it, and that's the best part, because you can facilitate things without a license, and you may not get, what any type of profit from it, but you're helping somebody, but why not earn something while you do it, and being a real estate agent gives you that opportunity. Versus, being an investor and buying on, on the side or whatever. There's ways you can make money doing that too, but there's so much risk.
The barrier to entry too, because you need a lot more working capital, and there's ways to do it without it. But it's a lot of hard work and this stuff. But whereas an agent, now you're starting off. There's an initial investment being an agent between your licensing fees, the MLS dues, and all that. But one transaction, you've made that all back and then some. For the most part, it depends if you're selling a tiny little transaction. But even at that, I think you'd still at least break even at that point.
Absolutely. I mean, at that point, it also you can specifically work in certain areas that you might feel like you want to specialize in, like commercial property, where
businesses.
Exactly, and you sell a business, right? Those are going to be starting off at a certain amount, so your potential earnings can be a lot more than selling a $25,000 condo or investment property or what have you. But knowing that it's a business, those businesses sell for 6 figures and up. You know what I mean? So your commission will be pretty good if you focus on that, or if you focus on luxury homes. There's specific areas.
That's a whole other ballgame in itself. You're talking different types of clientele. There's more marketing, because anything over 500,000 is much. It's not hard to sell, but it's harder because you're limiting the pool of the people who could afford a home in that price point. So now you're marketing in different areas and stuff like that, where the typical price range from $250 to like $350. Those go much faster.
I'm not saying don't focus on those luxury homes.
Just manage your expectations.
Manage your expectations, exactly. Know hey, I got this home that's listed for $1 million, but I got 2 other homes that are listed for $250,000, $225,000, $250,000. You're more than likely gonna sell those, so before that other one. So focusing on just one thing like luxury homes may not be as beneficial, but knowing that potential earning is there is key, because that means that, hey, at any point in time, if somebody comes to the table and they're ready to buy, you just made a hefty amount of commission.
It's a good commission that can propel you to the next one. And that's the thing. It starts with one. Once you get that first sale, and you marketed it right, especially if you're a listing agent and you understand that that's going to be your springboard. That first listing, I can tell you my story. My first listing came from my neighborhood. I found it on my community Facebook page, and I just jumped on it. I just threw it out there and said, hey, why don't we have a conversation about how I can help you sell your home better? And he's like, hey, I'm thinking of selling my home. Fine, that's fine. You can sell it on your own. But let me just at least give you some information to maybe set you up for success. And then after having a conversation, he realized that, there was a lot less stress to using an agent on the seller's aspect. And his home was under contract within a week. And we closed smooth all the way to the end in 30 days. But it was the way I handled it. I made sure that I put everything I had into that. Every tool and resource that I had, from professional photographers and 3D modeling of the home. Like I said, I treat every home like it's $1 million listing. So when I go to my next client, I can say, hey, this is what I can do for you. Yeah, and now you're not just talking about it, you're showing them. You're able to give some hard, concrete evidence that this is how I will market your property and get it out there.
And that's key. Like the first thing he did, and I'm so new, this is my first open house. So the experience that I bring to the table, I feel like is very valuable, just like the experience he brings to the table. And those are the reasons why he was able to reach out to somebody, through Facebook community page. That's crazy. And then you see a home for sale and like you're just messaging them. Like that's the type of effort it takes. You can't be scared.
Put yourself out there.
Exactly.
Absolutely, put yourself out there.
Exactly. There's another saying: "Scared money don't make no money." Right. So you really have to put in the work. Put yourself in front of those clients. You should be targeting those for sale by owners. Like those for sale by owners are people that that means no one's really maybe no one's contacted them, or they just don't want to.
They're struggling. They don't understand why everybody's house is selling and they're
still paying that mortgage every month. And you give them that little bit of hope. It's something different. They haven't felt that. They might just end up doing what they did with David and
yeah, don't force it. Don't try to tell them that they're wrong for selling that, because they're not. It's just different, and it is harder, and that's just the reality of the situation. It's not necessarily that they're wrong. Maybe they are successful at selling a home on their own, and that's fine. There are plenty of people that are, but if they're struggling and they don't know why, you could show them why. And maybe they don't pick you, but maybe now you've already opened their eyes to that, and if they do sell their home on their own, maybe they want to use you to buy the next home because you've already made that contact. And you didn't force them to use you, but they realized that there was value there, and that you were just truly there to help. You weren't there to take over what their idea was.
Exactly. And you come to an agreement with them, and at that point they really can't be upset about it. They're getting all the things that we do as far as marketing and showing the homes and stuff like that. Like they're probably not going to do those things as much as we would do them, and knowing that they
for the time and the access to the resources to do those things.
Right, because they've got regular lives to live and jobs and things like that. So for them to sit, there and do an open house for 4 hours, or pay for some.
How are they going to advertise it? When you list an open house, it goes right into the MLS, and every agent that's looking in this area is going to be notified that this is an open house, and they can come see you.
Yep, and MLS is our biggest tool. It's our multiple listing service. So when we have a home that we go into contract with, and we're trying to help an individual sell, we put it directly in there, and now you've opened up the gates, like to hundreds of thousands of people. Millions of people.
As soon as it hits the MLS, you're talking all those websites that everybody's out there.
Every single agent.
The ones that the average Joe peruses while they're just kind of sitting down on the couch. It all hits. Yep. New listing, this and that. So it's that ability to market, globally. Not even just globally.
Exactly. Like and Caldwell Banker, the brokerage that we work for, they're a global brokerage. They have
global name.
Yeah, they're all over the world. Like we can sell a business or a home in Dubai if we wanted to. It's like. Right?
Yeah. Okay. If you find a buyer who's looking over there, you refer it out to an agent in that area, and
they handle it. Yeah, they do it. You're literally just facilitating a meeting, and that's it. You set it up. You send somebody a potential client. They're gonna give you a piece of that pie. So there's just so much.
So it's a great industry. It really is. And I used to think of it in one terms until I became an agent, and I want to thank my wife. She's the one who was like, "You should do it. You should do it." And I was like, "Yeah, all right. Why not? It wouldn't hurt." And now I understand this, and it's not what I thought it was. You're a business person. You're a professional. You're not just hawking houses to the next guy that comes along. You're providing a valuable service to people that most people might take for granted because they don't realize the complexities of buying and selling a home.
Right. And some people don't have the beauty of understanding what it feels like because they've never tried anything with the realtor before. They've always kind of done their own thing, and
Yeah.
maybe they didn't have like the greatest experience doing that, but that's all they know.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if they don't know anything else, how are they gonna execute another game plan? So when we reach out to people and when we talk to people, it's like we're putting ourselves in front of that customer that may not have even like thought about it. So
Exactly.
it's definitely a global thing, and having a realtor is a huge advantage. So
Well, you touched on something too that I think most people don't realize is that one of the reasons I ended up coming into this industry
Yeah.
too is because coming from the military and law enforcement, one of the things I liked about this group is I got to help people, and you really do get to help people in this industry beyond what you could ever realize.
Yeah.
And because just the amount of stress, especially if you're talking, moving out of state with, kids, pets, and there's so much that we as agents do to take that stress off of our
Right.
clients. And when they're done and they get the keys to that home, or they
the
get that
best
check
feeling.
when they sell their home,
Yeah.
and they realize that, man, all I had to do was sit back and relax and
Yes.
let this person do it and just answer a few. It really is a game changer. It really is.
And having kids and a family, like understanding the importance of owning your own home, and like just having the ability to say, hey, this is my house, I own this house. You're setting your kids' future up. It's
That long-term game again.
Exactly. It's like when you're gone and you've what have you left behind? Like having real estate properties and owning your own home. It's not only for you, but it's for your family. So being able to say, hey, knowing that, hey, one day when I'm gone and my kids are grown, they have this, or they have these
Yep.
properties
Yep,
that
absolutely.
they can keep and sell. And I mean, where else is it going to go? You know what I mean? So that's part of the thing that I think you were touching on about helping people. It's like it's the best feeling in the world, but like you said, coming from law enforcement and the military, you're used to that, and this is something that you can do and still help people doing it.
And that brings me to my next thing I want to talk about too, is that coming from law enforcement, having that perspective, this is an industry that I never would have thought about while I was still active as something to do that, there's always the overtime grind, or you go back to the skills that whether it's, a lot of us come from construction or other areas like that, and, helping buddies on the weekend to make that extra dollar and stuff like that, but you take time away from your family.
Yeah.
That overtime grind in any type of first responder field, or in the military, you don't even get overtime.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It takes a
definitely
toll.
tough, yeah.
Whereas this, if to do it as a part-time gig, you might not find the gains and success as quickly as doing it full-time, but because you have a primary career, this is a great way to supplement income.
Absolutely.
Like I said, especially for law enforcement, because maybe your buddy on the job or your neighbor knows. Now, you've already got that rapport of trust,
Yeah.
and now you're able to let the business work for itself while you're doing a patrol or whatever the industry you're in that field. While you're working your normal job, that listing is working for you.
Yep.
And you have other agents bringing in showings and stuff like that. So
And
it is.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's like being able to know that everything is working for you, and you've built that. You built it to a point where you have other agents showing your listings. That's eventually the end goal, is being able to be on vacation while your houses are being shown and your listings are being sold.
Great way to supplement income,
Absolutely.
especially in those first responder fields.
Absolutely.
It really is. Or if you're retiring or getting out, it gives you enough mental challenges to keep you on your toes and keep that part of your brain active, that and give you that mission.
Yeah,
you
the
need.
motivation.
Yeah.
And
While
having
not being as physically demanding.
Right.
As
working out in the sun, or
Yeah.
being in your patrol car all day. Like it's a tough gig to come from, knowing that you can get the same benefits in this field without all that extra.
And make more.
Yeah, and
you,
make
you
more.
could potentially make more than you would ever make. Doing a double shift every single day that you work.
Yeah.
There's money to be made here, and on top of that, coming from those fields, you have a unique set of skills that you bring to this industry that others don't. You're used to working with the general public. You're used to working with people who could be super stressed out at the worst times of their lives. So you've got that interpersonal communication skills and the ability to read people that that kind of puts you ahead of others who might be entering the field.
Yeah, you definitely have the upper hand, and your past experiences and past jobs, like it won't go to waste because you're bringing those skills to the table, and those skills matter because that's what separates you from all the other agents. I mean, I can tell you that, I think it's harder for some people that don't have those past work experiences to come into a field like this and actually be successful right away. I think having your past experiences and working with people. But yeah, I mean, I think your experiences, your work in the past, your people skills, all those things that you bring to the table, you're not really learning that stuff. You already know it. You're just applying it.
Yeah.
Versus a brand new person that maybe an agent, real estate agent that just turned 18 years old and never had a job or what have you, and they want to do real estate. I'm not gonna lie, it might be a little tough for them in the beginning because those past experiences, they didn't have. And like I said, just having those things is what separates you from the pack.
Yeah, that and a good work ethic and self-discipline. This
Big
industry takes a lot of self, because it's all on you.
Yeah.
We have no set schedule. We have no set hours. We come and go as we please. We don't have to show up to an office ever.
Yeah.
I don't have to pick up the phone if I don't want to, but it's on me. If I don't close a deal or get a listing, and that's all on me.
Yeah.
It's all on me, and that's okay. It's very freeing. In a way.
It is. You don't have somebody micromanaging you. Like,
yeah.
Hey, where are you at? What are you doing? What have you done today? It's all, like you said, it's all on you. You want results, and you put in the work. You know what I mean? And the results are great. Once you put in that work and you understand that you can make this much money off of your first deal, you're like, wow, I want to do this again.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop. So
yeah, exactly.
That's the plan, and for anyone that's thinking about coming into the industry, definitely obviously reach out to David or reach out to
Ace,
me. And whatever questions you might have. I mean, maybe we could even go over, the steps that it takes to become or get your license, like what you have to do and stuff like that, I guess, class-wise and schooling-wise. So maybe we can touch on that.
Even if it's not us, reach out depending on what market you're in. Like I said, we're in Central Florida here. You can always reach out to one of us, or maybe your friend's a successful agent or your family member, and they're in the same market where you'd want to work in. Reach out to them, ask them if this is something you'd be considering. Why not have the conversation with them? I don't know many agents that aren't willing to be helpful. It's kind of in our nature,
right?
Because
that person's success could lead to your success, right? Because now you bringing somebody else to the table who's new, who might have potential buyers, who might have potential. Not to say like that's the only reason that you're going to help them for, but helping them without expecting anything is the biggest thing, because now you're a part of something that maybe wasn't going to work out if he did it with somebody else or something, because you're helping them, they're going to help you in return without even hesitation. So it's one of those things, like it's like, all right, you could do this all by yourself and have no help, but having help, having a partner, multiple partners that can help guide you, and
building a team around
building
you.
A team, David
surrounding
and I,
yourself with if you surround yourself with successful people, that success
successful.
will rub off. It depends on how much you want it to and the work you put in, but you will definitely walk away with tools and ideas of what will make you successful.
And the more people that you have around you with that same mindset is very powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, you start seeing results quickly.
Because they motivate you.
Yeah.
They're amped. You get amped up. I want to do this. Yeah, I want to do this too.
It's almost like having that, crazy dream of being this successful person one day. Like they have the same dream, and having that same dream and goals in life is what you need to be around, because they're going to be making the moves to get there.
Yeah.
So you guys do those things together and you become successful. David and I, we got plans. So we want to.
We're trying to make it happen.
We want to make it happen. We could eventually have our own team of brand new agents running around and helping us.
You never know what the future is. But if you don't put the work in, you don't surround yourself with successful people, and you manage your own personal expectations and understand that you can get rich, but it won't be fast.
Right.
Maybe it will be.
Right.
Maybe you're one of those lucky few that right off the bat
sell $1 million house.
Yeah,
right.
you're cranking out like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Hey, it happens.
Perfect.
But you got to understand that that's rare, and you have to put that work in.
Yeah.
Well, The other reason why we're here today,
Yeah.
we are having an open house. So
Yes.
why don't you tell them about this house that we're sitting in right now?
So right now we are in Winter Park, Orlando area. It's a very nice area, very close to Boone High School. So this area is somewhat like old school in a way because of the way some of these houses are built, but then there's houses right next to each other.
A good mix of architecture.
Very new, modern, remodeled, renovated houses. And the value of these houses are very high because of the area. But this potential
very desirable area.
Very desirable
A
area.
schools in this area. You're walking distance to all kinds of
Safe neighborhood.
Yep.
Great schools, like you said. And yeah, it's just
shopping,
it's
dining.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of luxury, and you got your.
I mean, you're maybe 10
about
minutes
5,
from Amway?
7 minutes from about 10 minutes from Amway. Yeah. And I live right around the corner too, and knowing this area, it's exciting because being able to find a customer to come in here or a client to come in here and purchase a home, you're more than likely gonna get more leads out of that because they know other people in the area too. And so this area in particular, it's very nice. Obviously, Boone High School is right around the corner from here. This listing is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a nice, humble abode. Very small, simple home. 1,300 square feet. It's not that small, but it's pretty decent size. We got a nice backyard right here. Maybe eventually we'll show you guys around. But yeah, I mean, this area in particular, it's an area that you would want to raise a family in. It would be an area where you want to bring your kids to school and where you want them to play outside and, meet friends and things like that because of the reputation. And it has a great reputation. Winter Park, Orlando area. So
yeah, this is what 18. Excuse me.
Yeah.
What's the address here?
1814?
1418.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're at 1418 East Cayley Street, and the zip code is 32806.
Right in the heart of downtown Orlando.
Right in the heart of downtown. SoDo, right? South Orange, downtown Orlando. So everyone's familiar with that. We got the big hospital right down the road too.
Yeah, so my daughter was, or my son was actually born over there at one of the
Arnold
best,
Palmer,
one of the best children's hospitals.
That's where my son was born too.
Oh, it's incredible there, and their NICU there, they're just top notch. So it's just a great area.
Great area, great place to raise your family.
Close to the highways.
Very close to the highway. We're not far from Curry Ford and 408. So as you know, 408 is like our main, tollway, expressway that we use to get to I-4 and things like that. So 408.
30 minutes to Disney?
30 minutes, if that, to Disney, yeah.
15-20 to Universal?
15-20 to Universal. Very close to those,
the big things everybody wants to know, yeah.
The big old Disney World, Mickey Mouse Club, and then Universal Studios, and you got downtown Orlando, which is a very beautiful area too. So we're literally in the heart of, all these great places, surrounding us. So.
This neighborhood the value of this neighborhood is just going up because it's such a desirable location.
I tell you what, anyone that purchases this home has made a good investment. Simply because your value is going to continue to rise in a neighborhood like this, especially because of the renovations, the older houses being torn down, which still have so much value, but then increase in value because of the new modern look that they renovate to and things like that. So you're making a good investment in an area like this. You can't lose in an area like this just simply because of the reputation and the surrounding.
we can never guarantee the future, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
But the trends we've seen in this area,
being near these places like Disney and Universal, so.
there are so many positive key elements to this
Absolutely.
that just point to being a good place to live and buy.
Yeah, I definitely love this area. It's definitely a place that I love to live in. So, my family actually, a lot of my family, 2 of my cousins went to Boone High School, which Boone High School has got a great reputation. I was living in Claremont.
We were walking. That's what, like a 5-minute walk down the street to the high school.
5-minute walk, and it's a big high school. It's like inside of the neighborhood. So, your kids could walk to school. Your kids could walk home from school, and you don't have to worry about them taking a car, and driving down,
There's an ice cream shop right on the corner.
Yeah,
right?
There's a little ice cream shop on the corner. I forget what the ice cream shop is called, to be honest, but it's right around the corner, right here off the corner of Cayley. But yeah, and then having Curry Ford, you have a brand new area on Bumby where they're building brand new businesses. They have that Foxtail coffee place. They've got this beautiful taco restaurant. It's a Mexican restaurant where they specialize in like tacos, and they crunch wraps.
Make me hungry, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's coming around lunchtime right now, but yeah, and that's right around the corner too. So Bumby, Curry Ford, and Delaney, like we're right in the middle of it. So it's a beautiful place. Definitely somewhere you want to possibly look to purchase a home.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, if you're interested in it, we're doing an open house today. Till
3.
Yep.
And then also tomorrow I'll be here from 9 to 1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe it's 9 to 1, right?
Yeah, it's, I'd have to. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah,
If
it's
anything,
something like that, yeah.
We'll
But it's
post
2 days
it
open
so
house.
you guys know.
Yeah. So if you have any questions or you want to come down and visit us, hang out, want to see the home, or come by 1814
1418.
I did that again.
1418.
1418 East Cayley Street.
Yep.
In Orlando.
Orlando. 32806. Yep.
And if not, you just want to give us a call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could reach out to me. My social media is my first name, my last name, which we'll put in the description later. But Asif Kahn is my name. You look that up, you might find a couple of them, but just remember the face. You'll be able to find me under Ackley Realty. Our main office is in Kissimmee off West Monument, 22 West Monument Ave. You call that office and you can get in touch with us through Carmen, who's the I think Carmen's working there in the front office. Yeah, so she'll be able to.
Did you ask for Asif or Ace?
Yep. You can ask for Ace, and then or David. And
I'm David Orfici, also with Coldwell Banker Ackley Realty. My contact information is on my Facebook page. Reach out, message me, email me. Send up a smoke signal, shoot a flare. I don't care. And reach out to me.
Exactly. Exactly. And because I'm still very new to this too. I haven't really started my page yet. I literally just kind of started it. So maybe David could share it later or whatnot. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing this.
If any other questions, maybe not about this house or something else you've seen, or just about the area in general. Like I said, feel free, reach out. We love talking about the area. We love this area. We love where we live, and we want other people to love it too because there's so much to love about it.
And the new agents too. If any new agents have questions about schooling and what it takes to become an agent.
Yes, please.
Feel free. That's something that
you want to know more about our firm at Coldwell Banker Ackley Realty. We'd love to talk to you about reasons why we decided to come here. Interview your brokers.
Yes.
All you new agents out there.
Remember,
don't be
you are the prize.
You remember you're hiring them. They're not hiring you.
That's the biggest thing that you got to remember.
And it's not just about commission splits.
No,
it's not.
No.
Don't get fooled by these big commission splits. 100%. Look what, like you said, what we bring to the table as agents is value, and where the value. What value does a broker bring to you? How are they going to help you further your career?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With that being said, it was fun hanging out with everybody. And until next time.
Yeah, until next time. We'll be back.
I'd like to be able to do this more often. I actually like this on a bad format.
And you know what? I think we did pretty good for winging it.
Yeah, right now we just figured we throw this up here, try to do it on a whim, and just
get it done.
Yeah.
Just gotta get it done, And maybe we could share some photos of the place.
We're gonna try to do some video walkthroughs and stuff, and so just keep an eye on our social media. Follow us both on social media, and what is it? I got TikTok, YouTube,
I got TikTok as well,
Instagram, Facebook, all of them. Just go out.
You'll start seeing a lot more, a lot more videos and stuff on TikTok and stuff like that too. So
now you can find my website is at findyourflcastle.com.
Yes.
So yes, it's Find Your Florida Castle, but Florida's just shortened. You don't want to type in a whole paragraph just to get to a web page. So.
Mine for TikTok, I just started and my Instagram is Real Estate Ace. So it's
nice, I like that.
Straightforward, and it was available. So.
Yeah, there you go. kind of can't be Ace's nickname. That's pretty good.
Yeah, the Ace of Real Estate.
Yeah, right. Hey, there you go. There's your marketing slogan right there.
Just came up with one.
Yeah. Well, anyways, till next time, guys. Thanks for joining us,
Thank
and
you.
we're gonna keep on working for everybody.
Awesome.
All right, take care.